Today I'm reacting to some of the worst comments and accusations I have ever received. Now I know being online comes with the occasional troll or strange comment because that's a part of the deal, and most comments are actually super positive, and I really appreciate everyone who shares their own experiences and asks real questions. But then there are also the other comments, like people calling me a scammer in a video where I literally warn about a scam, or people asking me for my private phone number, or reviews complaining that something doesn't work in their country even though I explain that clearly. And yes, there are even "you are bald" comments also. So let's go through some of these together so I can address all these types of comments and accusations once and for all. In case you don't know, my name is Mikael and I have tested hundreds of different ways to make money online, and I have shared my experiences, my tests and tips and tricks about making money online here on this channel for more than 8 or 9 years. And in this video here, I'm reacting to some of the most unusual comments, accusations and misunderstandings I get. It is not to shame anyone, but to clear up a few things and hopefully have a bit of fun with it, and also hopefully help you learn something from it at the same time. It's important to say that most of the comments I've received are positive, thoughtful, and from people genuinely trying to learn how to earn online. And I reply to every single one of them here on my channel and on my website because I want you to succeed and I appreciate your support. But every now and then a comment comes in that shows just how easy it is to misunderstand something online, or how quickly people can jump to conclusions, or how some people just like insulting others online just because they don't have anything better to do, I assume. So today I'm going to address some of the comments that I have received like this. So let's start with one that pops up surprisingly often, and that's the bald comments. I don't know why, but some people seem genuinely shocked, almost offended that I don't have hair. I've seen everything from "Bro, why are you bald?" or
"You're bald, you look like a chicken" comments.
And honestly, I'm not sure what to say, except this is the one thing in my videos you definitely don't need to investigate. Yes, I do not have much hair, and no, it doesn't affect how much you can earn online. If having hair was the secret to making money, trust me, I would have grown my bag years ago. But jokes aside, these comments never really bother me. If anything, they remind me that online people will point out anything they can, just like people sometimes make fun of my accent even. It's just a part of being visible online. Some comments are helpful, some are funny, and some are just random observations that people feel the need to type out loud. And to everyone who actually leaves thoughtful questions or shares their experiences, thank you. You are the reason my comment section is usually a great place to learn and help each other. And now let's move on to something a bit more serious. So next up is the Trustpilot review, because I have experienced on Trustpilot, even though I find it quite strange that somebody goes to Trustpilot to review a YouTube channel that reviews sites, but nonetheless I do have a Trustpilot profile there where people can leave reviews. So if you actually find my content helpful, I would appreciate if you could go there and give me 5 stars, of course, that would be awesome. But anyways, back to what I have also experienced there, and that is a review there that was absolutely furious with me because some of the methods I talked about weren't available in his country. He is even so angry that he felt the need to create several profiles and give me several 1-star reviews. Now, I understand that it can be frustrating when a platform doesn't work where you live. That's fair. I've said many times, availability depends heavily on your country, and that's why I always mention it in my videos. But this review was angry with me personally, almost like I'm sitting somewhere in a dark room pressing a button to block specific countries. And I promise you, I do not have that kind of power. What usually happens is that platforms choose the regions they want to support. Some focus on the US, some on Europe, some on Asia, some on a mix, and that all depends on the business model and the partners they have. And whenever I know a method isn't available in certain countries, I make it very clear in the video. I even have separate country-specific lists on my website for that exact reason. So when a review gets mad at me because a company made their own decision, it's a good example of how quickly misunderstandings can happen online. But don't shoot the messenger. And think about, if something isn't available where you live, it doesn't mean that the method is fake, it doesn't mean that I'm hiding something, and it doesn't mean that I'm personally trying to block you. And that is that specific platform just doesn't work in your country. And I always encourage people to ask in the comments if they need alternatives. And I also often share links in the comments to alternatives. And I'll happily share options that do work. But now let's move on to a big one. So the next one is a bit of a classic for me, and that is the comment about you're only promoting this to earn money. Because I do see this comment regularly below videos where I recommend a specific platform, usually from people who don't really understand how referral programs work. So let me be very clear here. Yes, some platforms do have referral programs, and yes, sometimes I earn small bonuses if someone decides to join through my invitation links. That is how I can afford to create this content and keep this challenge running and focus on creating content. And I'm grateful for the support anyone that joins through my invitation link shows me, and feel very blessed that I am able to do this. But I don't see there's anything wrong with earning. And here's also what most people forget, and that is often referral programs, they do not change how the platform works. I only earn if people who join through my links end up earning, and it does not affect their earnings at all. So when people say you're the only one earning because you're inviting people, well, if people didn't actually earn, I wouldn't earn anything. So just try to keep that in mind also. Also, I only ever recommend options I actually truly think are worth it. I get a ton of emails every day, and I say no to more than 95% of the offers I get, as I do not want to promote anything that is not worth it just for money. I have said no to thousands of dollars because of this over the years. And yes, I am earning online. If not, I could not teach others how to earn. And as mentioned, I'm very grateful that I have been able to create an online business and that I can now also help others earn online and avoid scams. But if money was the only thing that I cared about, I could easily have made videos recommending all of those poor platforms I have been offered money to promote. But I don't. And that's one of the reasons my channel has been able to grow. People have watched me for a long time and actually listened to what I say. They know that I say what I actually think, even if it means I earn nothing from it. So just to make it clear, if I recommend something, it's because I personally think it's worth considering based on my own tests, not because there's a link attached to it. And if I don't think it's worth using, I will also tell you. No matter what, you should always make your own decisions based on what fits you the best. I'm just here to share my experiences based on many years of testing and earning online, but you still have to decide what is best for you and use the methods and test them to find the best setup for you. So just quickly before moving on to the next type of comments, I just wanted to make you aware that the majority of you watching have actually not subscribed to my channel. It's a free and easy method to support my channel, and you can always change your mind later. So I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, and now you're at it, if you can also click the like button, that would be really great. I appreciate your support. So the next one might be one of my personal favorites because it's really ironic, because every now and then I make a video warning people about a scam. I'll, for example, go through all the red flags, explain why the numbers don't make sense, show proof, and literally say, do not use this platform. And then someone will comment, wow, I can't believe you're promoting this scam. And at that point, I honestly don't know whether to laugh or cry. Because if someone thinks I'm promoting something I clearly warned against, it means one of two things. Either they didn't understand English, or they didn't actually listen to what I say in the video. And look, I get it. We all skim content sometimes. And we all jump to conclusions sometimes. We watch shorts and not full videos. And everything moves fast online. But this is a good reminder of why so many people fall for scams in the first place. They want simple answers without paying attention to the details. And sometimes a platform is, for example, legit, but just not worth it. It can be legit, but with very low pay. It can also be legit, but not available in your country. It can also be legit, but just full of ads, so it gives a terrible user experience. Also, there is the option that it can be legit, but it just doesn't offer what people expect. And sometimes it's also just straight up shady. So if you skip the explanation and only look for a yes or no, you'll miss the important parts, the parts that actually help you avoid wasting time or getting scammed. So when someone accuses me of promoting something I clearly won against, it usually means they didn't watch long enough to hear the actual conclusion. And speaking of people wanting simple answers, let's get to the next comment, which is one I also get quite often. The next here happens quite a lot. For example, I'll make a full video breaking down exactly how a platform works. What's good, what's bad, whether I think it's worth it. I will also talk about whether it's legit, shady, or somewhere in between. And sometimes I will also even show payment proof. And right below the video, there's a comment saying, but is it legit? Now, if someone just missed a detail, no problem at all. I'm always happy to clarify. But sometimes when I politely point out, actually, I explain that in the video, people get annoyed. It's almost like they wanted a one-word answer without spending the 30 seconds it takes to understand the context. But here's the thing, most platforms aren't simply legit or a scam. It's not always black and white. Something can be legit and still not worth it, as I just mentioned when we talked about the previous type of comments also. It can also be legit but only pay well in certain countries. That actually happens very often. It can also be legit but full of restrictions that make it hardly worth using. So when I break things down in a video, it's because I want people to understand the full picture, not just a yes/no label. And honestly, if someone can't spend a minute or two listening to how something works, they are going to have a very hard time earning money online. But the majority of you watching this video, you actually care about understanding things properly, and that's why you avoid a lot of the traps many beginners fall into. But let's move on to the next one, and that is one that always surprises me no matter how often it happens. This one is always a bit surprising to me, and that's the messages and comments asking for my private phone number or WhatsApp so people can get help quickly. And just to be clear, it's not because I don't want to help. If you followed me for a while, you know I spend hours every day replying to comments on my YouTube channel and on my website. And I don't charge anything for that at all. I do it because I genuinely want to help people avoid scams and find methods that actually work for them. And that way I have helped thousands of people from all over the world make their first money online. But giving my private phone number online to strangers, well, yeah, that's just not realistic for anyone. It's not realistic for me, not for you, not for any creator who values their privacy and their family's safety. And honestly, if someone did offer private WhatsApp support, it would either be extremely expensive or extremely suspicious. So here's the reality. If you want to succeed online, whether it's surveys, small side hustles, or building something bigger, personal responsibility and realistic expectations matter more than having someone handhold you privately. Success usually comes from things like asking clear questions, taking action on the info you already have, and respecting your own time and other people's time, and actually applying the advice you get. And the great thing is, most of you already do that. Most of you ask thoughtful questions, and most of you take actions, and most of you understand that I'm only one person, and I also still try to learn and figure things out when I test new methods online. So here is what you can expect from me, just to make it clear. I will always reply to your YouTube comments and comments on my website. I will make contents based on your questions also when there are relevant questions. And I will warn about scams if I come across any. And I will help as much as I realistically can, publicly, where everyone can benefit from the answer. I just can't be available privately 24/7 on WhatsApp, and I hope that makes sense. So the last one is also one I see quite frequently, and that's comments that say nothing more than scam. No explanation, no details, no context, just scam. And here's the thing, sometimes they are actually right. Sometimes some platforms are scams. And when they are, I will definitely be one of the first to say it loudly if I come across them, and I will tell you very clearly. But many times the people comes from someone who, for example, have tried using a VPN on sites where it's not allowed because you use it to fake your country, and server sites, for example, they will ban you if you use a VPN. It can also be from someone that have created multiple accounts which might not be allowed on that earning platform, or that they didn't follow the rules in general. Maybe they tried to cheat the system in a way, or maybe they just simply tried to use a platform that didn't work in their country. And then maybe they get blocked or their account gets flagged and suddenly the platform becomes a scam. And again, I definitely get the frustration. It's annoying when something doesn't work the way you expect and when a site has strict rules, but that doesn't automatically make it fraudulent. This is also why I always say, be careful to blindly trust review sites, like for example Trustpilot, but that's just one example, many review sites. This goes from basically any review site, because a huge amount of one-star reviews on many earning platforms, also on Google Play pages and iOS and in the App Store, they are from people who tried to cheat, broke the rules, used for example a VPN, or just didn't read the instructions. So when someone comments scam, I always try to ask follow-up questions like, what happened? What country are you in? Why exactly didn't it work? And how did you use it? Most of the time when we dig into it, it becomes clear that the platform wasn't actually a scam, something else happened. And that's why I always encourage people to explain a bit more when they have a problem. It helps everyone else to understand what's going on, and it helps me guide you in the right direction, and it also helps me learn new aspects, because sometimes a platform might not directly be a scam, but they have started providing really poor customer service, and when people start making me aware, then I can take that in consideration and also look deeper into it and let people know in my content also. But again, the majority of you already do this, and I really appreciate that, because most of you do give helpful feedback, you share your experiences and ask great questions. And that's why my comment section is usually one of the best places to learn from others' experiences also. But when you see someone just commenting scam without any further context, without explaining more, then also just make sure to dig a little bit deeper instead of just believing it blindly. So after going through all these comments and accusations, there's one thing that really stands out. And that is that most misunderstandings online come down to expectations and how people approach earning money online. Some people want a simple yes/no answer. Some want fast result without reading instructions or listening to instructions. Some want private help instead of learning step by step. And a few just want to complain or be a troll. That's part of being online. But the majority of you watching this right now are the opposite of that. You ask thoughtful questions, you try things out, you learn from mistakes, you share your own experiences to help others, and that's what makes the community here around my channel so strong. So even though we looked at some of the worst comments today, the truth is that 99% of the comments I get are positive, helpful, and respectful, and I really appreciate that. So please keep leaving comments, share your experiences, and ask genuine questions. I reply to all comments, and I really appreciate your support. And if you have not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.